Hey guys, Aaron here. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to easily install an outlet in pretty much any room without the need to run any new wire, install any new boxes, or for that matter, tear up any drywall. And all you really need is a simple switch box. So stick around and I'll show you how it's done. Now, a couple things to note before we actually get started here. One, you're going to have a neutral in the box. If you don't, you're not going to be able to do this. And two, if you don't have a ground in the box for some reason, probably a better idea to go with a switch GFCI combination versus a switch outlet combination. If you're not sure how to do that, make sure you check out my link over here and I'll show you how to install that as well. So a few situations where you might actually run into this issue. Maybe a closet, a pantry, possibly a bathroom. In a bathroom, I definitely would go with the GFCI switch combination. But today I'm actually doing this in a closet, so I can put in a regular switch and a standard outlet combination and it'll work just fine. So let's get started. Now, when working with any electrical, first thing we want to do is shut our power off. Now, once our power's off, we can go ahead and remove our faceplate. Then we can take our circuit tester and just verify we have no power. Now, if you hear it beeping, that means you still have power and you've tripped the wrong breaker. Now, for any tools I use in this video, go down to the description and make sure you check out my Amazon store. Now that we've verified our power's off, we can go ahead and remove our switch. Now, a lot of times you'll just use a flathead to remove these screws, but I do like the Milwaukee ECX bits. They make it just a little bit easier. So if you want to find one of those, make sure you check out my Amazon store. Let's go ahead and pull that out. As you can see here, I've got two hot wires going to this. And then in the back of the box, you're going to find your neutral and your ground. So let's go ahead and get those pulled out as well. Now we're going to go ahead and remove our line and our load wires here. And you can cut these if you want. I think it's just as easy to take them off. Now, actually, what we need to do is split these apart, figure out which one is the line and which one's the load. Our line is going to be the one that has the power coming in, and our load is going to be the one going to the downstream. Now, the next thing we need to figure out is which one of these is our line and which one's our load. Now, our line wire is going to be the one that has the power coming from the breaker box, and our load wire is what's going to send our power to our downstream receptacles. So, to figure this out, we need to turn our power back on. Now, to determine which one of these is the line and the load, we just take our circuit tester and touch each one of these, and you'll see this one goes red. So this is our line and this is our load. Now we can label those or whatever you want to do, but let's go shut the power back off. Now, once we've shut our breaker back off, go ahead and test this again. Just make sure we have no power and we should be good to go. So what we're actually going to be installing here is this switch outlet combination receptacle here. This is tamper resistant. And again, check the code in your area. Some areas require this, some don't. But this one specifically is tamper resistant. Now, it's pretty basic here. You've got a switch that's going to control your light, and then you've got an outlet that you can access pretty much immediately when you get in the room. Now, the nice part is this outlet is independent of this switch. So it's not a switch outlet. This thing is always on, whether you have your light on or off. So let's go ahead and get this installed. All right, so as you can see, we've got two grounds and we've got two neutrals. Well, there's not enough spots on this receptacle for those. So what we need to do is we need to set up two pigtails, one for the ground and one for the neutral. Now, to do that, we just need to get a couple strands of wire here. And really, you want to try to keep the same color on our neutral here. So white to white. So what we want to do right now is just make our loop here. Then for our white wire, we're going to wrap it around our silver screw. We want to do this clockwise. So hook it around like that. And the reason we want to do clockwise is just because that's going to help us close that loop a little bit. A lot of times I like to just take this and close it down just a little bit right there. And then we can tighten this down. Tight. Then we're going to take our ground and do the same thing. Start our loop. Then we're going to do the same thing, and then we want it to go clockwise here. And again, I like to tighten the loop just a little bit. Hook that on like that, and then let's just tighten that down. Now, if you want, you can definitely connect these up right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and wire these two up just to make it a little bit easier. So I'm trying not to fight everything at the same time. If you remember, this is our line and this is our load. And we're going to make our loop here, and then we're going to hook it around our gold screw here. And we want, again, a clockwise rotation. I'm going to cut this back just a little bit. Make my loop. Then again, we're going to go with the gold, and we want this to be clockwise. So tighten this down. Next, we're going to hook up our line. Now, same thing, go ahead and make our hook here. The line here can go to either one of these terminals. We have the middle bar here. If you wanted to take that off, you could actually make this a switched outlet, but in this instance, we don't want to. We want it active all the time. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect up our line to our bottom terminal here. I'm going to crimp it a little bit there. Then we're just going to, again, tighten this down. As you see right there, when you tighten that, it turns that in a little bit. I'm also going to tighten this down a bit. All right, now we can go ahead and connect up our pigtail. So connect up our neutral. Go ahead and connect up our ground here. And you can put a wire nut on that if you want to. And then we'll go ahead and connect up our neutral here as well. Strip that back a little bit. Strip this back a little bit. And nip this off. We're going to put our wire nut back on. Make sure we're tight. We can go ahead and push everything back in the box. All right, now let's go turn the power on and test it out. Now we can go ahead and test that out. Looks good. Flip the switch. And there you see the lights on. Now we can just go ahead and put the faceplate back on, and we have an outlet.